A man in the winter of his life leans on the gate at the entrance to his home, his mind wandering. This is Lionel Davis. Born in District 6 in 1936, he now lives a peaceful life with his wife in the bohemian suburb of Muizenberg on the Cape Peninsula. This place has brought him joy. It is filled to the brim with art, a small insight into the mind of an artist that struggled for the first half of his life, not only to find himself, but also to liberate a country from tyranny. Davis was imprisoned on Robben Island for 7 years for conspiracy to commit sabotage against the apartheid government. Here, he says he first met his fellow South Africans that he was kept separate from as a young man. Davis says this dark and difficult time on the barren island proved pivotal.
As a person of Khoisan origin, we were not told about these things. We did not learn about these things. When I got to the island, that is where I got my real education, my understanding of the society in which we lived. That is where I completed my high school education, that eventually made it possible for me to become a university art student. It's the best education that I got. And it's not only about book learning. It's about learning to care and to share and to stand together for what we want, what we believe in. And that is, for me, what I took away from Robben Island.
Following prison, he was sentenced to house arrest. Art didn't become a life-saving force for him until he regained freedom of movement. Late in 1977, he followed a girl with a drawing under her arm. It led him to the Community Arts Project in Mayibuye, which would change his life forever.
I needed healing. I was traumatized, 7 years in jail, 5 years a virtual prisoner in my own home. I needed help. There was no trauma counseling. As a child, I loved drawing, but I never went to an art school, never did art at school, had no mentor, role model, but I needed help. And post my house arrest, I was thinking, what should I do? Because I was losing my sanity. How can I help myself? But as a child, I loved drawing. And then by chance, at the age of 41, I came across the Community Arts Project.
At the Community Arts Project, Davis was an important figure in the screen printing of anti-apartheid posters, T-shirts, protest banners, and the training of community groups. He's among the first of several artists that is participating in a series of seminars entitled UWC Robben Island Museum Mayibuye Liberation Archives Conversations. It's part of the greater project Unboxing Mayibuye. In partnership with French organizations, the Mayibuye archives will be digitized for posterity. The seminars will run until November to bring this history to a younger audience, but also bring surviving artists together to unpack their stories.
And he was this very key person in Cape Town who inspired a lot of people and was this kind of a peacemaker and just a very wonderful presence in people's lives. And people always referred to him. So having him at the center and then having colleagues around him who worked with him and who were also part of those processes, them engaging in a discussion and just reflecting was really wonderful.
Davies says the Mayibuye project is critical, as the good, the bad, and the very ugly must always be captured and kept, and to allow people to gain a deeper understanding of the past.
What can I do to break down the barriers that still keep us apart, that make one believe that he or she is superior to the other? If we have an archive that talks about these things, that you can do research on, it will empower you to be able to do something, to write about it, to talk about it, become an activist, to bring about the change that we so desire.
Davies studied in KZN at Rorke's Drift and finally obtained a degree in fine arts from UCT when he was in his 60s. In a free South Africa, he served as a prison guide on Robben Island. And while he still gives talks, he has dedicated his life to the pursuit of making art. It is his own expression of freedom.
It's about the ability to say what you want to say. We are not only political beings. We are beings of nature, of society. And whatever comes to my mind that I need to express, I will express it. You know, during the struggle they would say, there is no time for dreams. For me, there has always been time for dreams. So it's not only about shouting amangla, but there is nature. This is the beauty of nature, the beauty of people, the way we live in society.
Through his art, he continues to deliver comment on social issues and the dreams he had for South Africa as a young man. He says much work lies ahead, but ever the optimist, Davis hopes the tide has now finally turned for all South Africans to have equal opportunity to thrive. He greets our crew at the same gate where we found him. Lionel Davis walks back into his home in Muizenberg, where he is surrounded by art and the kind of freedom that makes sense to him. Mariska Botha, SABC News, Cape Town.